The room was electric, buzzing with the kind of tension that only comes when two worlds collide. Cameras flashed, microphones hovered, and every eye was fixed on the poised figure at the center of it all, Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States. She had just concluded a press conference on her latest initiative, Empower Women, Empower the World, a program aimed at uplifting women through education, mentorship, and faith-based support. But as the applause died down, a voice cut through the silence like a knife. "Take it off," the liberal TV host, James Carter, said, his tone sharp, dismissive, and dripping with disdain. It was not a request. It was a challenge. All eyes turned to James, a well-known media personality with a reputation for stirring controversy. His gaze was locked on Melania, or more specifically, on the delicate gold necklace she wore, a simple yet elegant cross, resting just above her heart. The necklace was not just a piece of jewelry. It was a symbol, a testament to her faith, her values, and the quiet strength that had carried her through decades of public scrutiny. But to James Carter, it was a target. "Take it off," he repeated, louder this time, his voice echoing through the room. "This is a press conference, not a church service." The room froze. Reporters exchanged uneasy glances. Even those who agreed with James shifted uncomfortably in their seats. This was not about politics or policy. This was personal. But Melania. She did not flinch. With the same grace and composure that had defined her time as First Lady, she tilted her head slightly, her expression calm, almost serene. And then, with a voice as steady as her gaze, she responded. "You want me to take it off? My faith. That is what this necklace represents. My faith. My relationship with God. My strength. And you are asking me to remove it because it makes you uncomfortable." The words were not defensive. They were not angry or confrontational. They were measured, thoughtful, and delivered with a quiet confidence that immediately reframed the narrative. Suddenly, this was not about a necklace. It was about something much deeper, something that struck at the heart of who Melania Trump is and what she stands for. But before we get to her response, a response that left every single person in the room speechless, let us take a moment to understand what brought Melania to this pivotal moment. Melania Trump was not born into privilege or power. She grew up in a small town in Slovenia, the daughter of a car dealer and a textile worker. Her childhood was modest, rooted in hard work, discipline, and a deep sense of faith. Her parents, Victor and Amalie Janovs, instilled in her the values of perseverance, humility, and the importance of staying true to oneself, no matter the circumstances. Faith was not just something Melania practiced on Sundays. It was woven into the fabric of her life. Her mother often told her, faith is not about shouting louder than others. It is about living with conviction, even when no one else does. Those words stayed with Melania as she embarked on a journey that would take her from the quiet streets of Sevnica to the global stage. She became a successful model, traveling the world and building a career on her own terms. But even as her fame grew, she never lost sight of her roots or the values that shaped her. When she met Donald Trump, her life changed forever. She became a wife, a mother, and eventually, the First Lady of the United States. But through it all, she remained steadfast in her faith, a faith that guided her through the highs and lows of public life. As First Lady, Melania faced unprecedented scrutiny. Every word, every action, every choice was dissected and debated. But she never wavered. Whether she was advocating for children's well-being through her Be Best initiative or standing by her husband during turbulent times, she did so with a quiet strength that commanded respect. And that strength was on full display the day of the press conference. James Carter had a history of clashing with the Trump administration. His interviews were often confrontational, designed to provoke rather than inform. But this time, he crossed a line. "Take it off," he sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "This is a secular event. Your faith has no place here." The room held its breath. Cameras zoomed in, capturing every nuance of Melania's expression. But instead of anger or defensiveness, there was only calm. With a gentle smile, she responded, "I am sorry if my necklace makes you uncomfortable. But I wonder, why does it offend you so much? Are you really angry about a piece of jewelry, or about what it stands for?" There was a shift in the air, a palpable change in the energy of the room. Melania's tone was not combative. It was inviting, urging James, and everyone watching, to pause and reflect. This necklace, she continued, holding it gently between her fingers, is not just an accessory. It is a reminder. A reminder of the strength I have received in my darkest hours, when nothing else could bring me peace. A reminder of the values I strive to live by: love, kindness, and the unwavering belief that every single person has inherent worth, regardless of whether they share my faith or not. The room was silent. Even James, who had been so eager to escalate the confrontation, took a step back. But Melania was not done. "You see, I do not wear this necklace to make others believe what I believe. God gives every person the gift of free will, and that includes the choice to follow him or not. I respect that deeply. But I wear this because it reminds me of something you cannot see. It reminds me of how far I have come, the battles I have fought, and the strength I have gained, not by my own power, but through God's grace." She paused, letting the words sink in. The room was spellbound. "You said I should take it off, as though it is something I can remove as easily as you think. But my faith is not a decoration. It is not something I put on in the morning and leave behind at night. It is who I am. It informs every choice I make, every policy I advocate for, every interaction I have. And I say this knowing full well that not everyone believes the same. That is okay." Her words were not just directed at James. They were for everyone in the room, everyone who had ever felt attacked, silenced, or shamed for their beliefs. "I wear this not because I think my faith makes me better than anyone else, but because it reminds me to be better. Better than I was yesterday. Better to my friends and family. Better to strangers who may need kindness more than I realize. That is what my faith symbolizes. And if that offends you, then maybe it is not my necklace that is the issue. Maybe it is something only you can reconcile." James opened his mouth to respond, but no words came. He looked at her, then at the cameras, clearly wrestling with the implications of her statement. He had walked into that moment ready to embarrass her, to frame her as a hypocrite. But instead, she had calmly, gracefully, exposed his own bias, not with aggression, but with truth. Melania closed with words that would be remembered as the defining moment of her time as First Lady. Unity is not about making everyone the same. It is about respecting the differences that make us who we are. This necklace may symbolize my faith in God, but what unites us as people is so much bigger than any symbol. It is found in how we treat each other, how we listen, how we build bridges rather than burn them. If you disagree with me, I welcome the discussion. But I will not hide who I am, and I would not ask you to, either. The room erupted into applause. James, visibly shaken, managed a nod, perhaps realizing that he, too, had been given grace in that moment. What started as a clash ended in unexpected reflection. Some called it a win for Melania. Others called it a win for something bigger: faith, resilience, and the courage to stand for what you believe without tearing others down. And as for the necklace, it stayed right where it belonged, proudly worn by a woman who refused to shrink in the face of adversity. Because in that moment, Melania Trump showed the world what true strength looks like. It is rooted not in the symbols we wear, but in the principles we live by. The confrontation quickly made headlines, with clips of Melania's response going viral across social media. People from all walks of life praised her for her poise, her eloquence, and her unwavering commitment to her faith. Even some of James Carter's usual supporters admitted that he had gone too far, acknowledging that his attempt to shame her had backfired spectacularly. For Melania, the moment was not about winning or losing. It was about standing firm in her beliefs and showing the world that true strength comes from within. In the days that followed, she received countless messages of support from women, men, and even children who were inspired by her courage. James Carter, on the other hand, faced a wave of criticism. Many accused him of being intolerant and disrespectful, while others questioned his motives. In a rare moment of humility, he later admitted in an interview that he had underestimated Melania's resolve. "I thought I could rattle her," he said. "But she did not just stand her ground, she made me question my own." The incident became a turning point, not just for Melania but for the nation. It sparked a broader conversation about faith, tolerance, and the importance of respecting others' beliefs. Melania's necklace, once a target of ridicule, became a symbol of hope and resilience for millions. And as for Melania Trump, she continued to wear her necklace with pride, a quiet reminder of the strength that comes from faith, the courage to stand firm, and the power of grace under fire. Kindly subscribe to hear more stories like this.